Hello, this is Martin Brossman, and I'm coming home after a wonderful training I did, a kickoff small business center on digital marketing. Terrific group of people, really exciting to be part of it, and I'll put more information of that below. One of the things I talked about is in your business, making sure that you have a vision, mission, or question, or challenge, or whatever motivates you, and keep it alive, that's internal to the business, not just marketed to help people learn about you, but something that's internal that keeps you on fire. And some people are motivated by goals, and some are motivated by questions or challenges, and some projects are people are motivated by solving a problem. And I want to talk about when I worked on the 10th anniversary of the Big Bad Ball. What occurred is, after 9/11, the Young Executives, which was a group at the City Club Raleigh, wanted to do something to give back, and they talked the club into having a special event called the Big Bad Ball, and it was an event to help Hospice of Wake County. They've now changed their name, but that's what they were called then. Well, then on the 10th anniversary, my friend Whitney was helping with the website on it, and he suggested that they bring in me and my team for social media. They had a marketing group that made the posters and content, but bringing us in for social media. It was back when also more of social media was found organically, and Facebook had not become such a pay-to-play platform like it is today. Well, the marketing people made real clear that they really didn't think this was necessary. They had it handled. And then I decided to reach out to a contact at Hospice and find out a little bit about the background, because it had gone on, this was the 10th anniversary for a while. And in talking to the person, say, look, I'm new, I really want to learn what worked, what didn't, what you liked, what you weren't as happy with, because we want to make sure we add true value to this event. And she said that she was really quite disappointed at certainly the last event they went to, and some of the others. And I said, well, tell me more. She says, well, there was a very nice event, but there was, other than just mentioning that it was for Hospice of Wake County, there was not much build-up or education or information about Hospice of Wake County. I thought, that's interesting. I wonder why. And I looked, and there were some pictures, and it was like, somewhere in smaller, there was something that said it, but there wasn't much else with it. So he said, well, tell me more. And then I said, well, why don't we go, and I'll get the video guy I work with, and we come to your location and do a video about your place. And she goes, that'd be wonderful, and tour and really understand what's going on, because I didn't know hospice that well. I had a friend that had passed away, and I visited him at hospice, but I didn't know a lot about it. I thought, I need to really understand this better. And then I learned about hospice and made the video. There was one story that was really important that we captured, and it was their bereavement program for children. And the gentleman giving us the tour said, one of the young men, they had a little area for kids that had lost a parent or something, and that this one young man, I believe he lost his mother. They had this large sandbox where you could put animals in and people and things like that, and he was wanting to add people to it, and he wanted to add more and more people to it. And then they helped him, and the counselor there brought some more little characters to put in, and he says there just aren't enough. And then the young man said, they asked, well, tell me more, and he said when his mother died, there were so many people, and she realized that he had felt completely ignored. No one was noticing him or noticing his pain of losing his mother in the event. And this was a way of him expressing that, and clearly saw the benefit of what they were doing there. I thought, this is great. We'll get it on camera. We'll get it back. We brought it back to the group, and it was profoundly moving. And I was told they had never done anything like this before. They had never dug deep enough into it. Then I finally realized, oh my gosh, who wants to talk about death? And I don't know this for a fact, but maybe the marketing group didn't take the time to find out that the donation, though it was significant, I don't know if the donation was $20, $30, or $50,000, their budget was like millions. So it was a small drop in the bucket. So I talked to them and I said, wouldn't it serve you better if we really brought more education and information to hospice? And they went, absolutely. They were delighted. I said, oh, now I know what our challenge is. Now I know what we're up against. When the people had been involved in it saw our movie, they were really touched and moved. And they said, this takes it to a whole new level. But when I got back with my team, I said, I understand the challenge we're up against. And the challenge we're up against is how to bring death to a party. And there were people that were helping. They were smiling. They understood what I meant. You see, it's not that we would talk about that outside the company. But when I said that, they all knew that we didn't know how to do that. And they were all excited about the challenge and how the possibility was the reason they hadn't brought up much of hospice, because there was a resistance to talk about what they do. And what I learned from the video and everything else was that it brought life. It brought people together. It brought completion. It brought healing. And in my experience, often many families are broken apart when someone passed away. They aren't brought back together like you'd think. So sometimes we talked about vision and mission, but sometimes it's a challenge that will motivate a team internally to do something. And then what we did is we built out content. So we talk about some of the auction items that were coming in. We talk about a little bit of the history of the ball. We created some content that talked about hospice. And we got several videos. And then I interviewed someone about the history of the big bad ball. And so we had that content. So we mixed up education and quotes about hospice in more of an asymmetrical way. And that's what we rolled out as content. And it was so touching at the end when they came and said, thank you. We really feel that people know more about hospice from this event, from what you did. Remember, sometimes what you need is some type of thing to focus on a project that makes it exciting. It's not always a goal, but it might be an unresolved question, a challenge, things that seem to be an opposite, and that might motivate you. You have to decide what motivates you the most. Let me know your thoughts and comments on this. Thanks for joining me on the ride on this conversation. Make sure to click subscribe and the bell so you see future videos. And have a great day. This is Martin Brossman.